Let's get the sourdough starter out of the refrigerator. I have not fed this since March 25th. I keep it in the fridge when I'm not using it. The ratio I feed my sourdough starter is 1 part sourdough starter, 2 parts flour, 2 parts water. So I do 40 grams of sourdough starter, 80 grams of flour, 80 grams of water. Since I haven't used my sourdough starter since March, you'll see that there's a little bit of liquid on top. I just dump that out. So I just dump out the liquid that's in there, and now I'm going to scoop 40 grams of this out into a clean jar. I like to use grams because I feel like it's more accurate. So I'm left with about 30 grams of sourdough starter that I'm going to pop back in my fridge after I put it in a clean jar. And since there's 30 grams, I'll add 60 grams of flour, 60 grams of water, and that will just sit back in my fridge until I want to use it again. I like to give it a little stir before I add the flour. And we'll give that a quick stir. I'll put the cover back on, and we'll put this back in the fridge for next time. I like a stiff sourdough starter. Some people like theirs more runny, but I like mine as a really thick batter. Seems to work really well to make bread. Let's get back to our experiment to see how long it takes for the sourdough starter to become active again. So I've got 40 grams in there. I'm going to add 80 grams of water. And 80 grams of flour. I like to scrape down the edges so we don't get too much dry bits sitting in there. And a rubber spatula works really well. And the way I like to keep an eye on how much my sourdough starter has risen, I like to put a little line, and I'll know when the sourdough starter is ready because it will double in size. So what we're aiming for is right about there. So it is 11:30 in the morning. Let's see how long this takes. It's about 80 degrees in my house, so hopefully it won't take too long.